Okay, good morning everybody. Hillary, the Freitas Hair Marketing Mom, and today what we're going to be doing is going through how you will create your custom audience for your fan page. Now, we've been talking about your avatar and how to build your audience and everything. And I want to go over to the fan page that we created in the last modules. And basically, what I want to do is, first of all, we know that this is our fan page. It's the fan page about the book, I Am Catholic, all right? So what you want to do then is, in your fan page, you see you've been posting, and you're going to go back to your ad manager, all right? So how we build our custom audience is in our ad manager. All right, so just keeping on the train that, we're using this I Am Catholic fan page to build out. All right, we go over to ad manager. Now remember, you can access it either on your left hand side toolbar kind of thing, or you can go over to this little arrow over here and click on it and go to create ads or advertising on Facebook. All right, so we're going to go over here to ad manager and open it up. All right, and in the next one, we're going to be actually showing you how to create the ad, but first what we want to focus on is your audience. So what you want to do is go over here to audience insights, and this is a really great tool to help you figure out who your avatar should be, because you may have a good idea of, okay, obviously they're going to be people who are either interested in the Catholic faith, the Catholic Church, but this is going to help you drill down, and we're going to demonstrate that. So the first thing you want to do is, because this is a brand new fan page, you're going to select, you want to choose an audience starting from everyone on Facebook. We'll go into these other two options on a later module. All right, so then you want to choose your location. Now, a word of advice is, when you're choosing your location, you want to make sure that you have one location, one country location. So you're either going to be focusing on the United States or your country of origin, minus Trinidad, or wherever you are. So if you're in the UK, you want to focus on that country, because what tends to happen with Facebook's algorithm is that it will choose one over the other. So if you want to have multiple countries, then you need to create multiple audiences. All right. So what you're going to do is, we're starting off and we're not dealing with custom audience, right? And you want to keep it a little broad because you don't know who you're really looking for right now. Okay. But we do know that this is the I Am Catholic fan page about the book. So we're going to put in here Catholic Church. All right. And we see that it goes from 150 million to 10 million. Okay, great. So now what? All right, so it gives us a little breakdown about what they do and this type of stuff. But then you can go over to this tab, page likes. All right, so it says everybody who has an interest in the Catholic Church, they also have interest in these different pages. They've liked these pages. All right, so the type of books that they like, Heaven is So Real, the quotes, Jesus. All right, so you get an idea of the different types of things that they're going to like of this origin. But then we say, okay, the Catholic Church is one interest that they may have, but then how about if we put in Pope Francis, for example, the current Pope? All right, when we do that, now we see that the audience didn't change much, but now it's given us a few different pages that people like. All right, and it's given us a few different lifestyles as well. All right, so we go into the page likes again, and we see faith words as another one. All right, and again, it's still pretty broad. So you're looking at 10 million people. Now, you're not going to reasonably reach 10 million people. So you're trying to think, what other interests would people have? Well, then you think about, okay, Pope Francis was one, but then who do we know in the Catholic Church? Who do we know, or what networks do we have? So television networks. So we know about EWTN. All right. So then we could put in EWTN. And that now, it still remains at the 10 million, but now we have an even narrower view of what people are looking for. All right. So what I'm going to do actually is I'm going to take off the Catholic Church so that we can get things a little narrow. All right. Now we see here, once I took off the interest of the Catholic Church, our audience dropped from 10 million to 1.5 million. And the point is that if you remember the avatar training, we want to get as specific as possible. So people who have an interest in Pope Francis and EWTN network, these are the type of pages that they like. For publishers, they like Ignatius Press and Magnificat. For other news agencies, Catholic news agencies, Catholic 365, Free for Catholics. And then here is an interesting one. This is what I like. Because once you get very specific now, you see public figures that this group of individuals likes. So that you can add these as interests into your audience. All right. So I'm going to add in here Father Robert Barron. All right. I hope that was correct. And I believe it was Scott Hahn as well was there. Scott Hahn. All right. And then Mother Angelica as well was there. All right. Yep. Mother Angelica was there. Right. So we're still at the 2 million. But what we're going to do now is, because we use these as our focus now, I'm going to take off EWTN network. All right. We're still at, and I'm going to take off Pope, well, I'm going to leave Pope Francis, all right? So now you have, it's still a pretty big audience. But then after that, so you found public figures that people are interested in. We could also add Fulton Sheen, Archbishop Fulton Sheen if we want there. We could also add the Catholic News Agency as an interest, that if you want. But we have a good idea that, okay, if we include these interests, we're going to capture all of these. But now, if we want to go even further, let's drill down into the location. Now, we're looking only at the US, all right? But then what Facebook does is it gives you an idea of where are these people in the US most interested. And interestingly enough, we have a lot of people in the Texas area. Texas, New Jersey, California. So it may be in your best interest then, if you're creating a custom audience, to create it based on what is the highest cities, the top cities. All right. Now, obviously for your top countries, because you've only selected United States, to be the United States. And wow, interestingly enough, we have 66% English, but we do have a high Spanish population. So that is another, those are insights that you could actually put in there, because then what that's saying is that a lot of the people who are, you could make the assumption that there are a lot of people who are active on Facebook liking these are from Texas and Spanish speaking. Yes, we're going to have obviously a large percentage of the English speaking. But here's what's even more interesting. You can actually see what is their activity like on Facebook, what type of devices they use. So this type of information is going to be particularly important when you're actually creating the ad, as you will see. So that we have a lot of people on mobile only and very few on desktop. So when it comes to your creating your ad, you want to keep this in mind. All right, we're going to have to come back to this. Okay. Households, right? So this gives you a breakdown, and Facebook only does this for US households. So if you're doing this outside of the US, then this data would not be available to you. All right, but it gives you an idea of the percentage of renters, owners, and all of this is more specific information that you can add into your interest. All right, or even down in your advanced sections where it comes to behavior. So all of this now relates to behavior. All right. Even the demographics relates to behavior, but particularly the purchasing. All right. So down here, purchase behavior, this is where you're going to look at all of these other, what I call behaviors. All right. Well, Facebook calls them behaviors too. So we've got people, clothing is a big purchaser. All right. Food and drink, obviously, subscription services. So all of these are things then, behaviors that you can now add that will narrow your audience, so that when you run your ad, it's a very targeted person. And as we said in before, the avatar has to be very targeted. So in the next training module, we're going to actually take this audience that we've created, and what you want to do is save the audience, all right? And what you want to do is save the audience with the name, generally, it's US Catholic 18 plus, all right? You save it in a sense of how you will. I'm going to put public figure here because I'm using mainly public figures like Scott Hahn, Father Robert Barron, etc. All right, and then you're going to save that, and now you have a custom audience that's saved, so that when you want to place your ad, you can come in here and then click on the create ad button, which we'll be covering in the next module. Okay, this has been Hilary, the Freitas Marketing Mom.